Hello, coolers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with this report talking about Barcelona's plans for the summer transfer window. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about La Liga president Javier Tebas, as he have recently commented on Gavi's contract registration, still reiterating that we are going to oppose that. We are also going to be discussing on everything he said. So, guys, before we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. The impact of Barcelona's big spending summer on the team's performance and results is glaringly clear. The Blaugrana summer signings have gone on to have an unimaginable impact on the field. Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, Andres Christensen and Jules Koundé in particular, and have been pivotal to the team's run so far. Planning for the summer of 2023, Joan Laporta says similar dreams. The president, with help from the manager and the technical staff, has identified 4 positions that must be reinforced as top priorities. According to reports from Sport, Barcelona's eyes will be on a left-footed centre-back, a right-back, a midfielder, and 1 or 2 attacking players. While Xavi Hernandez's side boasts of a sensational defensive record, the manager does not have a left-foot centre-half. Inigo Martinez and Ivan Dica are 2 options seriously being considered for the defensive position. The situation at right back is unclear. Barcelona completed the signing of Julian Araujo on Saturday, and the player is expected to join first-team dynamics after a short stint at Barca Athletic. Needless to say, his development and impressions in training will decide whether the Catalans will sign a new right back or not. In the middle of the pack, it is the defensive midfield position that is seen as understaffed. Sergio Busquets' uncertain future warrants the arrival of a new pivot or versatile midfielder, and Martin Zubimendi is seen as one such quality player. Apart from the Spanish international, Ilkay Gundogan and Sofian Amrabat are also among the names on the table. Vitor Roque has stolen the headlines in Catalonia in recent weeks and is the club's priority signing for the coming transfer window. In addition, the possible inclusion of Marcos Thuram has been discussed by the club offices and is seen as an economically visible and viable operation to reinforce the attack. Of course, Barcelona right now are already planning on the positions that they definitely have to strengthen come end of the season. And if everything goes well, like if the financial fair play is being solved and everything before we can even say this dream will be realized, because as we all know, we can't realize this dream of bringing all these players if Barca have still not resolved their financial fair play issues. Right now, they are still very tight until they release about 200 million euros from the wage structure, as Laporta himself said in his recent press conference, before they can dream of even bringing in some of these new players that we're talking about. So definitely we all know the kind of positions that we need to go for, and this report is not bringing anything strange that we have not heard before. We have been saying this numerous times, uncountable times, the positions that Barca are aspiring to strengthen. The left foot centre back must come. Despite Barca having a very good defense, but Xavi wants at least a left foot centre back, and Inigo Martinez have been the most talked about. A right back as well, even though we have Julian Araujo, who was just signed recently. Barca are still hanging on that to see if he performs so brilliantly, because if in case he does so well, then Barca will definitely not go for any other right back in the summer. Then a DM as well. Busquets' future uncertain, but Barca want to bring in a young DM, and Zubimendi is the favorite, but it's going to be very, very tricky as his contract is still long with Real Sociedad. So we still have even the attack. Barca want to bring in another attacker. Vitor Roque of Brazil is the most talked about, as they need a new attacker. Robert Lewandowski needs at least he needs a substitute. He needs somebody by his side, as he will not be here forever. So I think those are the positions that right now Barca definitely needs to go for, as we know. But how definitely it's going to be difficult. Barca need to first of all try to restructure their wage budget and also ensure that they comply with the very strict La Liga rules when it comes to the FFP, that is the financial fair play, which have really tied on Barca's necks over the years. So let's hope that things can go as planned so that Xavi can get the desired players that he wants for his team for next season. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barcelona managed to register the new first-team contract of midfield sensation on the deadline day of the January transfer window. 18-year-old Gavi penned a new deal in September last year, but the contract was not registered with La Liga due to the club's financial fair play issues. Barca decided to take care of the matter in January, but La Liga continued to put impediments in their path. Ultimately, Barca filed a court case against the league in an attempt to register the player. The court ruling came out in favor of the club, forcing La Liga to fight Gavi as part of the Catalans' senior team, with the midfielder even getting the iconic number 6 jersey. However, the matter is far from over, as La Liga president Javier Tebas has confirmed that the league will continue to oppose the registration of Gavi and have already lodged an appeal on the matter. In a recent press conference, he said, he is registered. He is going to play in the next few months. The problem is the registration. It's still in the precautionary measure. We are going to oppose it. We have a few days to do so. A decision will be issued. If our opposition is upheld, he would play, but he would play with the previous record. Further elaborating on what Barcelona need to do to make the registration airtight, Tebas said, they have to show a series of numbers and cash, and if they do that, the registration would be no problem. The losses must be less than what they have had. It doesn't mean he can't be registered. Barcelona know what they have to do. Tebas also spoke about the recent controversy that Barca find themselves embroiled in. The Blaugrana made a payment of around 1.4 million euros to a company owned by the former vice president of the referees committee, Enrique Negreira, between 2016 and 18. The La Liga president had already confirmed that Barca would not be receiving any sporting sanctions due to the statute of limitations on the issue already passing. Now he has claimed that as far as he has learned from his contacts on the committee, there were no irregularities. He said, the referees are appointed by a committee, not by the CTA. The referees were never under pressure, as far as I have been told. I have spoken to those who were there at the time, and I believe the referees, if they say they did not intervene, Tebas said. I want to clarify everything. I say that in sporting discipline, in relation to the Negreira case, the statute of limitations has expired. No sporting body can seek a sanction because it is time-barred. However, Tebas did add that the entire issue needed to be investigated and clarified. He said, everything indicates that there are indications, not that there is a proof or a crime, but there are indications that should be investigated. La Liga cannot be passive in the face of the facts that they are happening. There are indications these are strange and unusual events, the amount, the concepts. This has to be clarified. The La Liga president did not rule out the possibility that Barca might have been victims of a fraud by Negreira, as he said. Barca could be the victim of a fraudster. I've seen everything. I've seen fixing, attempted fixing, people who were paid by two clubs. We are all grown up. It wouldn't be surprising in the criminal field. It must be cleared up. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.